Love you, man. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You know, Gilbert is a great guy. I've known him over 20 years. We've worked with him, and you see the passion in Gilbert. The commitment to SEO. SEO, two things changed his life. He didn't really tell you his whole story. First was a scholarship to Yale that got him out of Texas. And then secondly was SEO that got him to Wall Street. And so he's just an example of the kinds of firms that we work with at Progress Investment, talented investment managers who just need an opportunity. And when they get that opportunity, then they show what they can do. And Gilbert has built a tremendous fixed income investment firm, Garcia Hamilton, down in Houston, Texas, managing about $10 billion in assets, and is just a success story. Let me first thank the SEO Scholars Advisory Board, as well as the National Board, William Goodlow. And let me also just take a moment to congratulate my fellow honorees, Vicki and Dan. Just a tremendous honor for me to be here, and so I humbly accept this award on behalf, really, of the firm, Progress Investment Management Company. I'm just one of 30 employees that works day in and day out to create more diversity, more equity, but most of all, more opportunity in the investment management industry. And so the idea of our business is a simple one. It's to find new investment talent, put that investment talent in the portfolios of managers like Gilbert, like Ellen Saffer, who's here this evening, and then oversee that talent and prove that diversity and investment excellence are not mutually exclusive. Now, there's an old saying that I wanted to use tonight, and that is, if you ever see a turtle sitting on top of a fence post, one thing you know for sure, that the turtle didn't get there by itself. So that's the image. The turtle's on the fence post. You know, I'm going to be from Oklahoma, so I'm just a country guy. So the turtle's on the fence post, and a terrestrial animal, you know that turtle didn't get up there without some help. And so whenever you are recognized in this kind of way, you reflect on all the people who have helped you throughout your life. And so for me, that begins in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, with my mother and father and extended family and all of the public school teachers. I'm a proud product of the Oklahoma City Public Schools, which is one of the reasons my wife and I have a project right now in Oklahoma City Public Schools to give back, because public education is really under attack these days. But all those people who helped me be able to leave Oklahoma City, so that's something Gilbert and I share in common. He got a scholarship to Yale, I got one to Princeton, and that changed my life. But this idea of all the people who have helped me, and so I've got some of my family here tonight. So let me start. My wife, Eileen, who I love dearly, my wife of 16 years, who's over at our table. Let me also recognize my son, our son, and his wife, Isela, Dr. Collard White, and Isela Garcia White. So family is important. We've got between us 5 kids and 9 grandkids. So we're blessed. My faith family is also important to me as a Christian, and so I've been part of a congregation down in the peninsula for the past 29 years. So my pastor and some of my faith family are here, and so thank you for your help, support, and for your love. And then my Progress colleagues who are sitting over to my left, and thank you for the work you do every day. Thank you for putting up with me. Thank you for just all the things that you've done, and some of our business partners. For any of you who are in business, you know it's important for you to have good business partners. So our lawyers are here, our bankers, and our accountants. The important people, particularly our tax accountant. So let's get back to the turtle that's sitting on the fence post. And so I'm a person who believes in words, the power of words. And so on the wall in my office, amongst the paper and the clutter that my wife says I got too much of, there are quotes. There are quotes on the wall. And so, again, I said I'm a Christian, so I've got one quote from the Old Testament: remember the Lord your God, who gives you the ability to earn wealth. That keeps me kind of grounded. But there's another quote I want to leave you with this evening, and that's a quote from Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr. And as you know, this year, we commemorate 50 years since his assassination in 1968. And so that happens also to be a very seminal and pivotal year in my own life, because that's the year I graduated from high school and left Oklahoma City going to Princeton. And so there are just a lot of firsts. Like 1968 was an incredible year in American history. So there's this quote from Dr. King that's on my wall. It's really the idea I want to leave you with this evening. And so there's a very young Dr. King, probably around the time that he was pastor at the Montgomery, Alabama church. And he's sitting at a lectern, not much like this, and there are two people in the audience. His a friend and cohort in the civil rights movement, Dr. Ralph Abernathy, and Rosa Parks. And so the quote says, "Life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing to help others?" Young Dr. King, Abernathy, and Rosa Parks sitting there, and he's leaning over. Very young Dr. King, probably in his 20s. Life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing to help others? Life's most persistent and urgent question, what are you doing to help others? Now, you know, I come into the office every day. I've been in Progress now for 26 years. Our business is in its 28th year of operation. We're so pleased. We've gone through a first generation of leadership, a second generation of leadership, and so my partner, Mona Williams, is here this evening, so we're poised for a third generation of leadership. So I've been going in this office a long time. And so seeing this quote all the time, you know, and thinking about tonight, thinking about the SEO mission and how it's aligned with our Progress mission and the values, that quote is one that I want to commend to you as perhaps mantra-like for reflection. It's a motivating message and a call for action. And then finally, it's a metric. It's a way to kind of measure at the end of our life's journey, what have we done that's productive and purposeful? The other thing that strikes me as I go in and out of my office is, and King was a master, of course, Dr. King, with words and an orator, is this idea of why did he characterize that question as both persistent and urgent? I would suggest that this idea of persistence, this idea of enduring, being relentless, that question, what are you doing to help others? Perhaps he characterized it that way because the only real enduring legacy we have is what we do to help others. It's more important, it's more meaningful than any technological innovation or any building or any business that we build. It's how do we help other people? And so that may be why he characterized it as persistent. Then you have the idea of urgent. Why would he call that question an urgent question? As many of you know, Dr. King, when he was assassinated, was only 39 years old. And so many of the civil rights historians, as well as his biographers, suggested that he wrestled with, particularly during the last 14 or 15 years of his life when he was active in the civil rights movement, he wrestled with bouts of depression. He had this premonition that perhaps he would not live a long life. And so the idea of doing all that he could do within the amount of time he had to live was something that kind of motivated him, drove him. And so it was in 1963 that he, when he made his I Have a Dream speech in Washington, that he coined this term, the fierce urgency of now. So urgency always was what he was about. One of the reasons he told the clergy in his famous letter from the Birmingham jail, why Negroes, as we were called then, African Americans, as we're called today, couldn't wait to achieve their full civil rights in this country. But this idea of urgency is that none of us really know how long we have, and more importantly, none of us know if we'll have another opportunity. So as William was saying, the SEO tagline, that's why we need to seize every opportunity that we have to help someone else. So I want to leave you with that theme, that idea. Life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing to help others? And so as we go through dinner, you go through the rest of the evening, you go through the next few days and weeks and months and years in your life, I would challenge everyone in here to really wrestle with this question and make it personal. What are you doing with your time, with your talent, with your treasure to really impact someone's life in a meaningful way? It's a question that really calls for a personal level of accountability. So again, I want to thank SEO scholars for this recognition. I certainly want to thank each and every one of you for your contributions this evening, for supporting this great organization. Most of all, as you saw the young people that Vicki invited to the stage to support these amazing SEO scholars, one of which I've had the opportunity to mentor over the last several years and watch him grow into what I think is going to be a great, not only a great person, but a great investment professional. He's at our table, Isaiah Boone, who's on his way in private equity. So anybody that's hiring private equity investment professionals, he's the man. And then Danae Kimball, who interned with Progress, who's in the SEO Scholars Program, who may be in the first class of graduating SEO Scholars here in San Francisco, an honor student at Mills College. I know her mother would be proud if some of you were able to give her a business card so she can have a job when she graduates from Mills. But we've got amazing talent. The real issue is there's a lack of opportunity. So thank you so